Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Tower Dominion when we're on our quest to squeeze every last little bit of joy out of this game that we can. I've been having a good time playing this. I do think that Rotmr Lisa is quite strong. I do want to try to win a game with Konigmeister Yevdoki because that plus 10% damage per battlefront. It's like super interesting. If you're not familiar with Tower Dominion, it's a tower defense game. I would call it more of a defense game. It definitely has moved a little bit further away from the tower part, but definitely has the DNA of a tower defense game, although it does a lot of things a little bit differently. I'm going to try Rotmr Lisa. I'm going to give her a go on difficulty 4 because I want to try to beat difficulty 4 with the red team because I've been struggling to make the red team work. Now, we got a straight piece zone expansion. We could do a reroll. We have a quarter, a 4-way here, a 2-way, a 1-way, and a 2-way. So we got a lot of entry points, which is actually kind of good for our leader type. And I think we want to look for somewhere that we could maybe get a nice big flat area for a battle fortress at some point. Like this has potential. This has a little bit less potential. This has good potential right here. I like this as a placement opportunity. Hopefully we get a neutral, no neutral building. That's fine. Question is, do we want to go for the Reaper turrets? I do want to get the support helipad, but we might not go for the Reaper turrets. We could go for Banner of the Regiment. I really like the Reaper turrets. It's good DPS close to the main, and it softens up enemies quite a bit. There's like this zone right here, these two tiles where they overlap and do a significant amount of DPS. It's not as good as one would hope. That's the only thing, is it's not as good as you could hope for. You definitely need to get range improvements on your main base to get a lot of value out of these. They're not terrible though. I'm gonna go for the Banner of the Regiment, slap a Mirador right there. I'd go for the Underground Depot plus the Logistics Reinforcement. I'm expecting to take a bit of damage on this first wave, but these guys should shoot pretty quickly and clear out an awful lot of these enemies. So cheaper Miradors, early Durandals, or more Miradors and sturdy bunkers. This has potential scaling with some of the late game doctrines. Grabbing this early does take it out of the pool, meaning we have less doctrines to pick from. So there is kind of a big advantage to picking doctrines. This is the lady with the Rampart Missile Silo, which scales really nicely with sturdy bunkers late in the game. So I do think I'll go for the sturdy bunker pick. And we'll send the wave again. Again, sturdy bunkers have serious potentials, and also getting that doctrine for the 15% damage adjacent to neutral buildings isn't terrible. We've got a 3-way splitter here. We could combine these. I might prefer to do this kind of a combine, although maybe this kind of a combine. I don't love this. I kind of want to keep my battlefront separated. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of doing that on this zone. So I might just have to do this and accept the consequences. And the question is, do I want to go for close support? Because the HQ could be doing damage. The problem I have with the close support is that a lot of the power here is locked up in that 15% damage, but I don't actually have weapons on this. And do I want to go for Navy support or underground garage? I do think Navy support is better, but it's a lot more expensive. Or do I want to increase the DPS of this tower by about 50% or more than 50%? That's a hard choice. It's already DPSing pretty well, so let's make it even better. It'll make it so that we'll be able to clear the waves a little bit easier and not take any damage while we don't have any repair. Extra supply right now would get us through these early game waves. So I think I will take that because we've gone for kind of a vulnerable build. This could allow us to push for the commander upgrade. I need to have, I think it's 100 plus 200 plus 300. So I need to have 600 money total. So I might try to skate my way through one more wave and hopefully we get a neutral building on our next roll, which will allow us to activate this relatively cheaply. Extra 200 supply, that's big, beautiful. All right, give me a neutral building of some kind. Okay, no neutral, that's fine. It is what it is. I'll just put you right there. I'm gonna go for the Reliquary of Judaria, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get another Mirador, and we'll do a similar sort of DPS setup for it and see if we can survive just a few, a little bit of damage. We just need to make it through this wave and then we're gonna be fine. Oh, did we make it? Come on. Okay. We squeaked our way through. HP per battlefront is kind of useful right now. It's gonna help us get over that early game hump. I'm gonna take Underground Depot. I want that range. And then that logistic reinforcement will be useful. Boom, that'll double the DPS again. So this is double DPS, this is double DPS again, and then this is another slightly more than 50% increase. Good. Claymore defenses are amazing. Cheaper platforms is a pretty good early eco. We do see camouflage and tunnelers. So that's important for us to keep in mind, is that we're going to be seeing camouflage and tunnelers. I might put the quad splitter there. I'm going to put this lane right here. Let's send that wave. Taking just a little bit of damage still. We should be able to get out of this damage zone pretty soon. Right, we shouldn't be taking any more damage. Platforms and Miradors is quite good. Tight ranks is also really quite good long term if we want to build like a big, you know, junction of towers. I'm going to go for the Mirador, and I'm going to have to save up a little bit of money. I will put one right here though, and give it special reinforcement for the camouflage boost. This has really good coverage of the areas near the main, which will help us deal with camouflaged enemies coming in, especially when I put the brightest nest here as well. Extra repair per battlefront is also quite good. More expensive upgrade costs is a problem because we haven't spent our tech yet, and that does cost a lot in terms of tech, but another 20% building cost is really, really good. More tier 2 blueprints is also super interesting to me. Like, if we take a look at what the tier 2 blueprints are, I wish this was broken down into tiers, but it isn't. It's things like the retribution position, cheaper Miradors. I'm going to go for the HQ repair because I'm a little bit worried about our HQ health. So I'm going to turn this lane this way. Ooh, a discovery. I don't need a tower. Well, I'm going to put a tower beside it right now. The Vencador right there will do the job. It has relatively low coverage, but that's fine. We definitely need a lot more DPS in and around here. I want that special reinforcement for the detection. And then I'm going to go Logistic and Veteran just because it's relatively cost effective. I do think long barrels is extremely powerful, but this is relatively cost effective. I think better bunkers plus platforms has late game potential for Rotmr Lisa. So we're going to get the 4-way splitter and put it over here. I'm hopefully going to put the shield bug thing in the corner. Ooh, and we got +2 range and 10% damage on our buildings over here. That's really good. Let's go for the logistic reinforcement. We're going to need more damage in and around this corner because there's just a lot coming out here. And the cloakers are going to be a bit of a problem too. Thankfully, we do have infantry that can tank them. Mirador efficiency isn't bad. Authority requisition is not ideal. The medium mortar position is not a tower that I respect a lot. It's relatively expensive and inefficient, but Mirador efficiency too is quite good, especially because we're relying so heavily on Miradors early game. I tend to rely pretty heavily on Miradors in the early game. It's just a tower that I make a lot of use of. Nice, we got another processor site, and it's actually in a relatively decent position for coverage. Let's put a 3 height up here. It has really great coverage even on non-primary lanes, and then we'll go for a special reinforcement. We'll go down the left side. This will help us deal with those cloaked foes. Perfect. Mirador efficiency 3. I mean, look, if you've already invested this much into Mirador, you may as well get more out of it. It's like just such a good return on your expenditure of energy, I guess. Beautiful. We're cleaning up. Nice. I would like some extra recon. It would be very, very useful. And there are a couple of like premium bastion positions nearby. I think right here is a good location for this 4-way splitter. It's not necessarily where or what I want to place here, but it is what I will put there. And then I'll go for another veteran reinforcement as soon as we have the money. But you can see even these cloakers that are out here are getting dealt with, which is ideal. So we can get Mirador expertise for +10 recon. 10 recon is going to be extremely useful for re-rolling and controlling the map. That's why I like Miradors, is because they just give you so much early game power. Let's get you up to height 3. We'll give you this. Now look at that uptime. Where all the entrances are, we have incredible uptime on this Mirador adjacent to the +2 range, 10% damage. We're going to go down the full. We might do left, right, left. Like, yeah, left, right, left, or ABA. Because this, in my opinion, is like a really good combine of range, DPS, and general power. I also want the detection because there are cloaked enemies, so having lots of towers with detection means the probability that someone will shoot the bad guys that we need the detection for is higher. Sturdy bunker efficiency 3 will have a lot of dividends in the long run, so I'm going to pick that up. I definitely want these guys to come forward a little bit. There's a plus 50 supply production neutral over here, which is great. I'm going to activate that with a bunker. That will pay just a little bit of dividends over time. We don't necessarily need extra Mirador cost reductions. We could go for tight ranks to get that 20% damage and build like a stack of Miradors all around each other, which would give us a really, really strong DPS chunk, like right adjacent to our HQ, which has a lot of appeal to me. So I think I may go for that. Now, one of the sort of the secondary way that you can deal with cloaked enemies is by killing everything except the cloaked enemies nearby. So actually, you don't need every single one of your Miradors to have special reinforcements. Some of them can get the underground depot. I think that's actually a completely valid way to deal with it as well. And so I'm going to go for cost-effective Miradors rather than like the most efficient Miradors. Air commands are awesome. But do I want platforms and claymore defenses? There's a lot of potential claymore defense locations, like there's one right here that would be really, really good. There's a 4-way splitter. I think I'll put a 4-way splitter right there like this. Just gives me a little bit more room to deal with them. I'm not ready to connect these, and I would love to get a corner piece. We're kind of slowly building a maze that does what we want it to. So I'm going to get the underground depot so that this has really high uptime, and then we'll go for logistic reinforcement, veteran reinforcement. Because if you kill the enemies that your detection towers are shooting at, they will more quickly switch to the... Ooh, final stand is super good. That's a lot of HQ, HP, and repair. Plasma fences are sick. I'm going to take that. It's just so much potential. Let's get another Mirador with the underground depots. We're building like a stack of Miradors over here. Enemies almost got through over here, so I might need like a little bit more DPS range. Oh yes, sturdy bunker expertise. That's huge. That's going to be amazing for our late game. I'm going to re-roll a little bit for a corner piece. There we go. I'm going to corner piece here, and then I need to start connecting this up too. So we're down to 1 battlefront. Not perfect, but it'll do. This Mirador, I'm going to grab the underground depot, logistic, and the veteran. You can see like even this one has such good coverage, even on the back side of my base. A lot of people talk crap about the Mirador, but I actually think it's one of the better towers in the game. For the early game. For the first 20 waves, then it falls off a little bit. More building doctrines would be helpful. I think I'm going to go for the sturdy bunkers and the platforms. Bunkers are going to scale really nicely late game. I could save up now for the thingy. Let's put another nest over here. Got these nice loops that will distract our enemies for a long time. All right, let's grab another Mirador, underground depot, full logistics. Just adding so much DPS in the area. With a little bit of backside DPS to catch the stealth guys. That's all you need. So less damage, but upgrade costs. That's a big eco boost. Plus 5 discovery is insane. Sturdy bunker cost is also good. I think the general upgrade cost reduction has a lot of value. Reroll, corner piece, perfect. It's all coming together. We've got a crash site here. We could recycle some bunkers into it, although is that worth it? It's hard to know. Let me make sure you have your veteran reinforcement. Let's put a couple of platforms here. We'll put a high height Mirador on there too. Cheaper Miradors, retribution positions. A super heavy pulse defense would be great for softening up the big enemies. I might now save up for the Rampart missile silo. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I might just keep building out this Mirador position. I have like another Mirador or two that I can place. Like, it's good DPS. Retribution positions are super good. Durandals are super good. They're very expensive. A lot of these are very expensive, and that's kind of a problem because we don't have the greatest eco ever. Let's get 3 more entrances over here. And I'm also going to put a low down Mirador like so. All these are now maxed out. There is something to be said for putting a couple of werewolves nearby. It might help. Do we want to now save up for a bigger tower? I think we might be able to get away with a couple of waves of saving. Because Miradors are just doing so much work that we're like good. Yeah, there's a little bit of damage we need on that backside. Buildings getting a 3% damage boost per height value is really good when we have so many platforms and so many high positions. So I'm going to take that. That's going to significantly increase the DPS of our map. And I'm going to put a sturdy bunker here with a reinforced pivot, a Reaper cannon, and a solid foundation. So it's just going to blast everything that's coming through this choke point, because we got a little bit punched there a moment ago. Let's see. Do we have... I would love a position for a claymore that was at least +1 height. There's one here that's relatively good. We could give it an extra +2 range. Would have really good coverage on this backside. There's also a decent spot right here with +1 range. We can afford the range upgrade. It covers a really nice corner. Okay, we'll hold off on building the claymore for now. Let's have a think about what our long term looks like. What are we weak to? I'm going to save for the rampart. See how we do. Oh my god, we just took so much damage. And I'm not even sure what hit us. Let's grab these werewolves. Alright. Rampart missile silo over here. Might be better to put it to the front line, actually. And give it improved systems. And then defensive networks. Go for the cheap upgrades just to get the... better bunkers. No! I'm dead. Let's try again. Okay. I might have leaned a little bit too heavily into Miradors there. I just really like them. It's the problem. They give me a sense of safety and security in the early game that I really appreciate and like. All right, maybe we'll do something a little bit weirder. I do really love recon income because it gives you a lot of flexibility with like the tiles that you get access to. If you get a tile that you really don't want to place, it's nice. And Reaper turrets just do feel good. And then I like having at least like 1 or 2 Miradors adjacent here. I think it does just a lot of work in the early game to get you through those first couple of waves. Getting extra damage on rerolls is not bad. Getting 2 platforms on threat reveal is very strong, and tight ranks is also quite good, especially if I'm going to be putting some towers next to my HQ building. Like, sure, yeah, we'll take a little bit of damage, but it's fine. We could go for the early light mortars. They do stack up DPS quite nicely, and they're relatively cheap, or I could go for supply and platforms. I'm going to go for the light mortars, because there's something kind of interesting about that. I don't want a 4-way splitter, I think. Even though I'm on the entry point lady, I kind of want to make sure my battlefronts merge a little bit before I start really taking advantage of that. And I'm going to be going for early close support to try and... ooh, extra money on neutral buildings. That's like pretty decent. It's like a cash injection over time. All right, HQ is fine, so we can now start thinking about our mortar position. Oh, 400 supply like right now is really good. That's so much supply. It'll let me get these... Oh, shoot, I really don't want to put this down somewhere. I guess I will. A mortar here, plus a mortar here, kind of pointing in opposite directions. I'm going to make sure both of them have learning machines. And then a mortar facing this way with learning machines, and then a mortar facing this way with learning machines. They're relatively efficient, long-term DPS. Yeah, we're leaning into those mortars. They're not the best, but they do the job relatively cheaply. Extra damage for buildings adjacent with cheaper upgrades is nice. Could go for more Miradors to boost up the HQ HP. That also appeals to me. So which way do I want this lady to go? I think around this way is good. Oh, there's another discovery point right there. Activate that, plus 10 discovery. You definitely want the logistic reinforcement. Plasma fences are insane. 10% HQ repair would be useful, just to get us that little bit over the hump. There's a second close supply, so now I think we're pretty cleanly going to get through wave 10, which is one of the early breakpoints. Sturdy bunkers plus supply appeals to me. You have to consider that, like, we're not going to be able to place every single blueprint that we get our hands on, so we do need to consider, like, okay, which blueprints are we actually going to place here? I want a T-junction for this. I'm going to put a mortar right there, give it learning machines. Scout hideouts. Let's take them because we don't have any right now. We have the Phagotrope and the Metacris. Boom. Boom. Learning machines up. All of our mortar positions are now slowly gaining DPS every round. Gaining a blueprint among 3. Cheaper light mortar costs isn't that good. It's not terrible, honestly. 4-way splitter where I have mortars feels good. Adjacent buildings gain detection and range, that's nice. Let's build the commander building so we can get the Reliquary of Judaria, because a 15% building cost is like so damn good. You could argue that Seal of Pristine Glory is actually better than the left one, and I could see that being a reasonable argument, honestly. I'm going to add a couple more Miradors. I want my HQ to have a good HP, but also good repair. And a little bit of extra damage on the Reaper cannons kind of appeals to me. More light mortars. We do need to find good positions for these light mortars. Here's a good one. Learning machines, and then another good one, learning machines. The light mortars will slowly learn to soften up our enemies. I do like platforms plus claymores is a nice combo. I'm going to rotate you. Perfect. You need to grab the underground thing so we can go for logistic reinforcement as well. We're not dealing with any stealth right now, so I think we're kind of okay. Mirador efficiency is nice. This supply production, it would be 80 supply per turn until we link up our battlefronts, which we won't do for a little while, so I think that does add up to be a decent chunk of income, in all honesty. Like, we're not taking damage right now, which is nice. We're slowly repairing. Cheaper Miradors is good. Mirador efficiency, this would allow me to get the Mirador expertise. Cheaper upgrade costs also save me a tiny chunk of money this wave. This is net neutral in terms of total amount of entrances. This is +2 entrances, so I'm going to go for the +2. Nice, we get a techno amplifier. And we are going to add a close support here. I'll save up for that. I think I might be able to get away with saving up for the Rampart missile silo now. We'll see. Sturdy bunker efficiency will be great. Let's keep saving. If we get into a tiny bit of trouble, we can pop down another Mirador. +1 reinforcement choices is insane. Let's grab it. There's a 3-way splitter that we were looking for. HQ repair is also incredible. We can now get the Rampart missile silo. I'm going to plop it right there. We'll save up for high capacity, and hopefully this tower does a lot of like AoE, nice AoE damage. Taking a little bit of damage, I might need to build another Mirador. Cheaper Rampart missile silo cost is incredible. Extra supply would also be incredible. I'm going to go for the Rampart missile silo costs. I'm going to drop another Mirador. Boom, boom. I need just a little bit of extra DPS to get us through the next wave or two while we save. Oh, efficiency. Efficiency on the Rampart missile silo. That's insane. I don't want this tile. I don't want a 3-way splitter either. I could live with one. I want a straight piece. There we go. Boom. Down a battlefront. But we're really close to merging all of our battlefronts. This is good. So we're still saving for high capacity. I'm a little bit worried about wave 20 with the Krylos. Oh, divisional relays are really damn good. Plus, we still have all our tech to spend. The light mortar efficiency and the reroll damage, this could be really, really good. Rate of fire scales so well, as does reload speed with damage. Like, this is incredibly good scaling for these. Discovery is, oh man, this is a hard choice. I am re-rolling a decent amount, but the division relay would give me so much recon production that I have so much control over my map layout. Now, here's a question. Is it worth it for me to place platforms to get the discount, right? So if we're building this divisional relay, okay? If we go Omni Relay, Intel Command, and Intel Relay, that would cost us 3 tech plus so much supply. But if I place platforms, we could save a little bit of tech. I think we're going to try and get away with that. I think that's really worth it because that recon will mean we'll be able to invest heavily into scout hideouts long term. And then also we have the relay antennas giving 15% rate of fire to adjacent buildings, which will give us a lot of potential wackiness that we can explore. Right. Am I worried about getting killed here? I think I can make it through this wave. Now the next few waves I don't know because those Krylos are dangerous. Mirador expertise, perfect. Give me a straight piece. Perfect. I'm gonna need a claymore near my main. So 2 platforms plus a claymore up here. Dual barrel LMG, dual barrel LMG, and then a trajectory analyzer. Boom. So these guys will be able to do a lot of damage to fast flying units. Still really close though. Let's see. Advanced Claymore is disgustingly strong. Plus 100% supply here. I think that's going to help us out. I think I basically need to upgrade close support one more time in order to make it through the next few waves. So I'm going to be getting myself a few of these just to give myself extra HP to play with. Because when these guys are getting through, it's a hard knock, man. Boom. Yeah, we need that repair to get through. Okay, cheaper bunkers or bunkers and supply. I'm going to take the extra supply. Perfect. We'll turn you in, and then we can start moving entrances over here. You need to be upgraded. We need more health and more repair. I could use 3 platforms to get a really nice advanced claymore over here. In particular, looking for that anti-air claymore. So we'll need to save a little bit for the trajectory analyzer. But like, these weapons do just so much damage against air that it'll help a lot. The fact that they target whoever the fastest is. But more so, it's also just raw DPS in the zone. Gain a blueprint, gain platforms. Platforms are so useful to me. Trajectory analyzer. Now you got big range, so you're going to have a really big uptime. Here we go. This is a great position for a sturdy bunker that's going to have reinforced pivot plus the Vencador to cover AA, because I noticed some air was getting through on this side. I'm going to do something similar on this side. I think that should help with our air problem. These guys will have priority air, so it'll attack the closest air target to the base every time it switches. It has to be within range. So yeah, this Vencador is now doing work on these air targets. Still some stuff is getting through. Not too bad. Not too bad. Division relay plus supply and reinforcement. I would love a 4-way splitter, but I don't know if I can make that happen. Let's do this. We push more enemies to this sort of bad region. Let's get high capacity plus defensive network. Now these sturdy bunkers have like crazy good range. So if we can make it through this wave, I think we can make it through the next few waves. But this wave is like the trial. Nah, we didn't quite make it through. I think we were balanced on a knife's edge right there with the build that we went for. A little bit too risky, I think. Let's point you up like this, and then we will go for... We definitely want Recon as this leader, and we're going to go for 4 weapons, Reaper turrets. I might go for more bunker heavy early game. It almost never works for me, but let's try an early Reaper. Double bunker boosts? Hell yes. Give me that. Alright, we got the Reaper cannon. Let's see what happens. Took a little damage, not a big deal. Light mortar, Durandal plus platforms, supply. Let's go for the light mortar. We get a blueprint. Puma. We got a straight piece here. Reroll that. Now that's a T-junction. That's perfect for right here. I'll fire a mortar down that lane with learning machines. Let's grab platforms and supply. I'm going to give you shrapnel plus advanced gear so you shoot quickly, so you clear out these early waves. Better sturdy bunkers is awesome. Early light mortars, again, they have huge scaling potential if you get the right stuff for them. I wish I could re-roll this. I can't. I'm going to turn you this way. May as well fire you down this way as well. Forgot about this 3-way junction over here. It's a bit of a problem. Sturdy bunkers. Put a sturdy bunker there. Sturdy bunker efficiency is huge. Commander getting recon we don't care too much about. We definitely need this to be longer, so let's space that out. Reinforced pivot plus the Reaper cannon. It's the dream. Don't quite have enough damage to overcome. Right now I think our build is weak, but you know, sometimes you pick a weak build, and that's life, man. Sometimes your build is no good. I need money to get through these waves. What are you guys? Tunneler, immune to slow. That's fine. Let's make... I can't really afford to do what I want to do, so I'm going to go Mirador to try and get a little bit of health and repair on my main. I'm scared. Extra supply and reinforcement, that could really help us out. We've been struggling with that. Let's connect these guys. Boom. Awesome. Save it for close support. That's what we want. Beautiful. We don't care too much about Mirador costs. I wouldn't be against getting a Bastion and some supply. Right now I'm feeling the hunger for resources. I'll put a light mortar over here, even though it doesn't do a huge amount. The fact that they get the learning machines buff over time adds up. The potential scaling on them can be hyper efficient if you can make it work long term. So putting mortars on these corners has long-term return potential. I do love the HQ repair, but the sturdy bunker expertise is super good. It means your bunkers are a lot more agnostic in terms of their positioning. Right, let's put that there. Oh, nice. We got a battlefront boost. It's at least a 5% increase in DPS. I think I can get away with placing my statue down. And I think I go for the Order of the Claimed Sky because they're cheap, because it's cheap. Even though the other one might actually have better performance. Supply and Mirador, we have so many blueprints, there's not enough money, so money, money, money. That's why we need the Reliquary of Judaria to try and get through that next stopping point. Getting 10 HP every time you place a building, it's one of the greatest defensive abilities in the entire game. Also sturdy bunker reduction costs. Very, very useful. Combining these two networks, I'm super on board with. I've got a maze that I'm quite happy with. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Let's put a mortar right there. Learning machines. I don't have a huge amount of money, so we'll hold off on spending anymore. Okay, we need a little bit more defense around here. We could go for the Durandals. Let's grab the light mortars. It's still relatively early into the game, so they're going to stack up nicely. Question is, do we have any positions for them to fit? And actually, we do, kind of. We've got here and here. It adds up. I promise you. Here is a nice position for a sturdy bunker. It's got good uptime on a nice lane here. Cheaper sturdy bunker costs. Let's go. It's our main building. I'm going to re-roll this for more entrances. That's bad. Let's re-roll it again. Re-roll. Give me more entrances. Yes. That's what you want as this hero, is lots of entrances. It's your thing. All right, nice. I don't think we're really getting hit. We're holding well. Money, love money. Love money and platforms. Out of sturdy bunker locations, maybe time to save for the rampart silo. More bunkers, yes. Let's go. I can't afford to reroll. Let's rotate you at the very least. I can almost afford the rampart silo. If we make it through this wave, I think we're good for the next few. Perfect. Let's grab the 1000 base HP. Yeah, we are going up against some flying units, but that's okay. We already started building some flying stuff. More entrances here. This is how we entrance max. I want the rampart silo. 75% more damage, but 25% more upgrade cost is a lot of damage, but it's also a lot of upgrade cost. Let's activate this building instead. And we want to go for high capacity. We want to hit all the entrances all the time. Come on, don't kill me here. Okay. Whew. Durandal plus the scout hideout. I like it. I'm going to reroll for more exits. Perfect. I'll take it too. We always want to be adding exits, or entry points rather. It's kind of how our hero scales. 50% HQ HP is really, really nice. Rampart silo. We're saving for high capacity. Getting hit by those flying guys. I don't like that at all. Attack fort is disgustingly good. So they were coming in from this angle, which is kind of like I think that's a weakness for me right now. I don't have a whole lot shooting in this area, so let me put a platform there. A bunker right there with pivot plus Venkador. I'm also a little bit worried about this angle. So I'm going to put another bunker right there with pivot Venkador. And I'm also going to put a scout tower here just to give us a little bit of DPS out of our... Ooh, yeah, that flying damage is really hard to deal with. decimation position would help a lot for our mortars. So I want to get a Puma, ideally on a high height, like right there. Place that Puma, give it anti-air, hydraulic recoil, and the quad barrel. We could also give it paleo augments. Give us a really good AA in this zone. I think that might be enough. So maybe we can get away with saving for high capacity. We're either dead here or we're not, like. Oh, looks like my soldiers switched lanes. Come on now, don't let them through. Okay. I think we made it. Advanced Claymore is awesome. Cheaper Claymore defenses is good. Let's grab high capacity and we want the defensive network. So this thing will start doing a lot more damage as it attacks all entrances all the time. Defensive network. My sturdy bunkers just got extra range, so now they're going to be like sick as hell. Platforms, platforms, platforms. Don't mind if I do. Keep pushing them further out if we can. Getting more entrances. Potential height 2 Claymore position here. Advanced Claymore style. And if we go down the right side tree with the ammo reserve, this thing's going to crap out DPS. I'll even put a Mirador here to get in position for a potential stealth enemy that's going to be coming. In the next reveal. Going great. Well, you have only... Oh, that'd be nice. 2 light mortars does have good potential here. Have this light mortar shoot down that lane with learning machines. Since he's in a good position, I'll give him advanced gear as well. Decimation position right there. Nope, you're facing the wrong way. Oh no, you're facing the correct way. That way you'll get both frag launchers firing on the main line. Then mortar positions start getting like crazy good range. Starting to look nice, starting to look nice. Rampart silo doing good work. All right. 40% supply production is insane. Well, more exits as possible. Another decimation position would like go hard, I feel. Because now we're going to start seeing mortars that have like pretty ridiculous range. Durandals, do we have a good Durandal position? We do have one right here. Get him that long barrel, now he can reach here. If I put a height booster here and here, we can get another Durandal that will just about maybe miss or reach this, but fine. Medium more we don't care about. We do like the sturdy bunker. We have efficiency for it, don't forget that. I think we have efficiency 3 for the sturdy bunker. Yeah. We have expertise and costs, so like they're crazy good for us right now. I would like to put a Durandal here, but I would want to save up first. So let me put some more bunkers near my main. A bunker here. Reaper cannon, solid foundation. Start doing solid foundations on these guys. Most of the enemies are coming down this lane. We do need some DPS on the backsides, but I think we're okay. Rampart missile silo cost is like super good, plus shady bunker. Sturdy bunker, not a shady bunker. Shady bunker sounds... Ooh, don't make that joke. Woo! You ever see your career flash before your eyes? Woo! Solid foundation, solid foundation, solid. Want those foundations to be solid. Okay. What are we up against? Metacris Brood and Mega Mucos. So we're going to want some Venkador bunkers. Plasma fences can be useful. They're no good against Metacris Broods though, so I'd rather have the Omega Emitter. Pop that down there. That's another 3 entrances. Remember, every entrance that we have is a 3% damage boost and makes enemies come from further away. This is a useful coverage angle. This is another useful coverage angle. Here's a great coverage angle. Let's try to make sure we have interlocking fire with our sturdy bunkers. Oh, that was a lot of damage from this entrance right here. Go for cheaper Durandals. I'm going to push this entrance slightly further out. It's a little bit too close, I think. I'll put a Durandal here with basic upgrades. Get me that recon production. It's not a whole lot of recon production, but it does help. And we're struggling a bit there. Don't let him through. Don't let him through. Come on. Oh! I might need a Mirador or two to get a little bit more HP or something, like a fence. Maybe the fence would have been big, actually. Maybe a decimation position here. Maybe that's the play. Right, so new threat spotted. We got foes raining down from the battle from above. I can't place a decimation position in the place that I want to. So I'm gonna just get it where I can. But my mortars now have like crazy good range. Especially this one here. I want the advanced gear on it so it's pounding down main. Yes, look at those explosives taking out the little dudes. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for the mortars would do. I might consider selling one of my decimation positions because I want to get a battle fortress next to my HQ. This would remove, well, this would push my entrances further out. I think I put it up here. More entrances is more good. The Omega emitter beam down main could be like pretty poggers, actually. This thing could do a lot of work for us. It's my dual beamer. Only 1400 damage. That's actually quite sad. Light motor efficiency actually goes quite hard here. Reinforced pivot. Ooh, that was the wrong choice. No biggie. But we're going for those Reapers. A little bit of noise almost getting through over here. Little bit almost getting through over here, but that's okay. Maybe another Mirador over here or a Durandal or something. I'm glad most of my DPS is sanctioned, strained out main. Not the greatest emitter I've ever had. Armored staging ground could actually be the saving grace here. This is the final wave. So give me like another couple entrances far away. And if every 10 seconds we're getting a dude, a tank that's just like popping out to help us out that we can also spend money on to get extra flamers on. Oh, come on, don't let this guy through. Dude, we were so close. We were so close. If that tank had chosen to go a different direction, I think we might have made it. All right, one more go, one more go. Uno más, uno más. Actually, it's going to be an interesting loop right here. Like, boom, 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 boom. I do like the early Miradors. I just like it. The Reaper turrets plus early Miradors just feels like the right style. Holy, that's a very early structural network. We're going to have crazy good HP on our HQ. That's going to add up a lot over the course of the game. Cheaper upgrade costs is nice, but it's way too early for this to matter. I think I would rather get the sturdy bunker and the werewolf position. I'm going to send you up this way. Definitely want to get the close support to give this HQ some HP and repair. 25 supply production this early plus a couple of mortar positions. That's amazing. I mean, if we put these mortar positions here, they have okay coverage. Put them here. They're kind of neat. Let's get that close support. If I place it here, probably going to loop this back this way, around like this. And then start entrancing this way. So in fact, placing a mortar like this is ideal, even though it's not doing anything right now. Long term, this learning machines will pay off. I'll take extra miradors. Yes, the corner piece that we were looking for. Oh, and then we've got the sickest Durandal position here too. Definitely need to turn these. 10% extra HP. I think I'm going to go for light mortar plus local acquisition. These have really good long-term implications for my build. Platforms, that'd be an amazing battle fortress location. Let's get another mirador. Saving up for the underground depot. Cheaper light mortar costs isn't really that big of a deal, but I do like it. I like it. I need a 3-way splitter here, so I can start looping together and linking up my networks. We're blapping the enemy. We're taking a little bit of, we're tanking with our HQ, which is fine. Light mortar upgrades, love it. I'm going for a weird build. Hoping to make mortars work. Mortar costs, yes. Come on. This is the light mortar game right here. Oh! What if I just put one mortar right here, facing down the lane with learning machines, and then I put one facing this way with learning machines. So they're stacking up that little bit of damage here, you know? And I would like to get another close support rather. Maybe a couple of more miradors in here. We don't quite have the DPS to take all of this out. We're doing okay, but I would like maybe 2 more miradors. The advanced mirador is kind of a curious idea. What are we up against? So we've got Mimukos and the Phagotrope. So immune to slow and splits upon death. 2 things people have said about me before. But basically, we're going for the same early game strategy, the Mirador heavy early game strategy. I feel like it gets you through that early game so comfortably. Ooh, I do like thorough scouting. Out of all of these choices, like I feel like all of these choices are really valid. Even the simple design is really, really good, but I love thorough scouting. This is the perfect piece for right here. We start looping it in. Another Mirador. Let's send the wave. Okay, perfect. That wave has been cleared. Not even getting love tapped. Where is... More Miradors, I guess. Fine. I was hoping for something a little bit better than that, but sometimes you don't get what you want. Relay antennas. Neutral building damage is nice. Plus platforms again. Flexibility is extremely useful. I'm going to re-roll here. Straight piece. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Now I want a... Well, I mean, honestly, I think I keep upgrading my Mirador to get through this early game. +7 discovery is so good. Yes, give me that. %25% HQ HP is really good. More light mortar positions honestly feels pretty neat. I do want to turn this corner. I'm gonna put a light mortar here, and I'm gonna put one here. I'm gonna give them learning machines. It starts to stack up. I probably should get my statue. This gets 15 supply from it, so that's perfect. That's a small income boost. We'll also go for the reliquary of Jadira. And cheaper Miradors is useful because I still am building them and I'm upgrading them, so it saves me like a little bit of cash. Just like slightly increases the efficiency of my build. This early game Mirador surround is like my thing. Oh, yes, light mortar costs -10, -30% in total. What's our new threats? We got the floating Canid and the Sanatrope. Two very deal-withable aliens. Ooh, I like it. What if I put a bunker right there to activate that proto turret? And underground depot, close support. We're up to really good, you know, health and regen on this bad boy. HQ isn't even getting tapped anymore. I'm going to grab more light mortar positions. They seem to be the thing that I'm leaning into pretty heavily in this run, and so I'm not opposed to getting them up and getting them their learning machines, because like already this guy's up to, oh damn, I forgot to get one of them the learning machine. That's unlucky. Retribution positions are insane. Really, really good late game. I want a straight piece. Just a straight piece. Ah. I don't love it, but I'll take this. Because now I have a single battlefront that I have to worry about. I will take the HQ HP here. With the Mirador chipping away at my enemies. Oh yeah, here we go. Light mortar efficiency, Mirador costs. Let's go. The Sanatrope and the Floating Canid. We only have 2 entrances that we need to worry about. Now, this guy is going to be strong because he has the battlefronts. The less battlefronts there are, the stronger he gets, which is a problem. My hope is that the overwhelming firepower of my Mirador supported HQ will pretty much be able to ignore this. Oh, big damage. Okay, that was scary. Let's go for the Durandal positions. I think I need Durandals over there. There we go. We got the corner piece and a recon producer. What I want is this right there. Which way do I want it to face? I'm going to face it this way. And I'm going to give it anti-air priority. So it will target air units first, which includes the Floating Canid, which is a thing that I need a lot of DPS against. Right now it targets most HP, which is fine. Air interdiction protocol, so now it does full damage against air. We'll see it shred those air boys. Cheaper to upgrade, sounds good. Speaking of things, let's get a Durandal there with a long barrel. It's in a great position. Cheaper retribution position can be useful. Yes, a single entry point. Let's put you, I'm going to put you right there on interdiction. You'll cover this whole arc. So he's going to target the air with the closest to the HQ. Important thing to note about the enemies is the enemy has to make a valid, has to send an enemy down every track evenly. I forget exactly how it works. Cheaper upgrade cost could let me get my tower up. I like it because then I could get my large rack. And what else could I get? Heavy payload, Claydon cannon. Maybe I'll do a Claydon over here. Let's fire a mortar down that lane with the learning machines. I'm also going to fire a mortar down this lane with the learning machines. Perfect that we're streaming enemies through the lanes. Beautiful. More light mortar positions. I like it. We do have the upgrades to them. I would like to re-roll more entrances, but we got a straight piece, which is fine. Also a proto turret. I like it. Perfect. Another proto turret. I will not say no to a proto turret. Do I want to get the Rampart missile silo, or do I want to spend my money on something else? I feel like I want mortar turrets aiming down the lanes with learning machines active. And then I want a triple stacked Durandal right here with long barrel. And then again, boom, yes, long barrel, heavy payload, and blessed machine is going to be like the prap. But I need to start moving more DPS up into this circle, this area right here. And we will. It's a process. See, we're just slowly chipping away at our enemies. Okay, they're getting a little bit close for comfort over here. We do have a lot of Mirador fire, so we don't need to panic just yet. Alright, so we're just about making it through. I think we do need some DPS there. I actually think an electric arc cannon could own right now, because this pretty much covers every possible lane that we need to worry about right now. And if we had these guys touching tips, well, now we're talking like big laser damage. Extra HP and repair on the HQ is incredibly powerful. Free tech is also sick. I'm going to go for the final stand. It's really good. New threats have been spotted, so we do need to care about camouflage. Something we are going to have to think about. Let's put a splitter right over here. We got a 40 supply production booster. Let's put the Durandal turret right there. To activate that, they're very efficient next to neutrals. I'm going to use some of my tech points on these laser boys to get them a nice zappy future. And they also slow the enemy that they're tickling, which feels good. Mirador expertise. It's pretty late into the game to get this, but I think it does do good work. These did 10,000 damage each. If I could find a really good position for this Mirador that is close to my HQ, like right here, maybe right there would be better. And it'll be anti-stealth. So that's its job. Its job is to shoot stealth enemies that get past my other defenses. But it'll also provide support fire. Gaining supply on reroll. I'm going to go for Doctrines plus a blueprint. I will take the sturdy bunker. I'm going to re-roll for more entrances. Please give me more entrances. No more entrances. That sucks. That's what I was hoping for. Was entrances. Potential emitter here. It's not the greatest. This would be a really good emitter because 3 of the groups of enemies like to go around this corner. So having an emitter that beams them kind of makes me like it. I could spend my tech on that because we are getting towards the late game here. And could do a corner claymore. Yeah, I need big damage on this corner right here. This is where the enemies are going. A light mortar efficiency goes hard for me. Just like I go hard for your mom. So I'm upgrading all of my mortar positions to have detection and advanced gears. Because I want them to attack faster. Now that we're hitting the late game, relative to their cost, they're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Each individual mortar doesn't do a lot of damage, but ooh, I do like the air command here. Armored staging ground also is another potential way to get through stealth. Take a splitter over here. We've got a plus 10 recon production. I'll put another Durandal right there with long barrel. Send the wave. Kind of want to watch the way enemies move. And so you can see a lot of them go down this turn. Air commands, holy shit. That's crazy. Air commands are like super mortars. We got a new threat here. Unbreakable creatures that spearhead the final wave. Let's get our tanks up. There is a universe where we go for tanks beside an Omega emitter. So let's get that tank up. Ooh, what if I put you right there? The tank crashes into the stealth enemies, helping me deal with them. Think of the tank as a weapon that has infinite range, that shoots from your HQ. Like, it's a good way to think about it. Doesn't necessarily need the slow on the HQ, but it is actually pretty decent. I will grab that. We don't need it. I'm going to turn this. Perfect. Let's get another tank factory. We'll go for the full heavy flamer, so we'll be getting 2 tanks every 10 seconds. Tanks are great because they just push back the wave a little. electric arc cannons still go hard. Also, strength in numbers is crazy for my faction. I reckon this right here, interdiction protocol, that's the play. You want the large rack. We gave him the anti-swarm protocol. I'll give you the anti-swarm protocol too. Efficiency on the electric arc cannon plus a couple mortars. Not bad. Since this is the final wave, it's the final wave. Alright, we got mortars in position. Like that, 17,000 damage on a mortar. That's crazy efficiency. I've learned to respect the mortar, okay? I have learned from my mistakes. I do wish I got a decimation position this game. We didn't even end up using the Rampart Missile Silo, nor even really the entry point ability. But yeah, listen, bro, respect the... You gotta learn to respect. Respect the light mortar. It's like, it goes crazy. I think the title of this video will be like, Red Team plus light mortar goes crazy. Because they do. Look at this. Look at this disgusting... absolute obliteration. It's disgusting. I mean, look at that. Light mortar plus 1 max targets. That's not amazing, but it's also not bad. Look at that. 500,000 damage on the light mortar. You're telling me that that's a bad tower? 14 light mortars cost me like nothing. I still maintain that the surrounding your base with Miradors just gives you so... It's like such a... It might be a newbie move, but it gives you so much... it lets you get away with shit you wouldn't get away with ordinarily. But yeah, look at that. Imperial Stronghold, Retribution Position, Light Mortar, blah, 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 blah. I am kind of sad that the Armored Staging Ground, like, it doesn't track its DPS. That's something I'm kind of sad about, so I would love to see that. But otherwise, I gotta say, Rotmr Lisa, you don't necessarily have to play around her ability or the Rampart Missile Silo. I didn't play around either of these, and I beat number 4 difficulty. And I don't think it was luck. I think there was at least a certain amount of skill involved in this. Because if I can beat tier 4 difficulty on most leaders, like, that's pretty good. I still can't believe that I haven't beaten tier 4 difficulty on Sergeant Gertag. Like, that shit's crazy. Yeah, we're working our way through the list here. All right, I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.